Hello, Terry.
Hey, how you doing?
Welcome to Santa Anita Saturday with
All
Terry
right.
and myself, just Rich. And hopefully we can pick up where we left off on Thursday with Turfway Park, where this track maybe we just should do all weather tracks all the time, Terry.
Could be, yeah. That way we won't have cancellations most of the time.
Right. We didn't get any today, did we? Did I miss at the end? I don't think so, right?
No, I don't think we got any.
Pretty interesting card. I feel like the first half of the card, maybe minus the first race, is a little bit interesting, and then you have those 2-3 races in a row right there with a bunch of first-time starters. You have no idea what's going to happen.
Yeah.
And maybe in the back half of the card, maybe a little chalky. I do think there's some value available in this card, Terry, and let's see what we can do about it. What do you think?
I think you got a good idea.
For once, the one time in my life. All right, so race number one at Santa Anita it's actually a stakes race they're kicking off with. And let me try to pull the screen up. There we go. Race number one, it is a 6 furlong. It is the Don Valparaiso California Cup Sprint. 6 furlongs on the main course there. But, so far they haven't run a whole lot of races, so trying to understand a track bias is a little bit difficult. Of the 4 races, 3 of the 4, 1 from off the pace, 3 of 4, 1 from posts 4 and out, Terry. And if you take a look at our 1,000 simulations for who's going to have the lead at the quarter-mile marker right here, and 1,000 simulations based upon speed figures, who's going to win this race, sure looks like it's going to be a duel when those gates open.
Yeah, the 2 and the 3 are going to be going to the front. And, if you look at the odds there, that if that 3 can outdo that 2, it's going to be pretty good odds. So
yeah, it could be a 99-1. That would be nice, right?
That's right, yeah.
Be a hell of a way to start, that's for certain. Again, that's 1,000 simulations that we do. If you have not been here before, the way to the winner's circle worksheet is the winning running style for these horses. And the E's are the ones that like to go wire to wire. The EPs, pressure horse, EPs can go wire to wire or pressure. The P horses are pressure horses, which means they're within usually 2 lengths, under 2 lengths at the leader at the quarter-mile marker. Pressure closer types can pressure or close, and sometimes they can go wire to wire. They're really the most versatile and most challenging to figure out where they go. And then the C's are your closers. Looking at the race shape here, Terry, got a couple that want to be up front. In particular, the 3 horse looks like it does have the most early speed of this group. And then everybody else is in the back. So maybe we can see an upset to get started.
Yeah, it could happen, pretty possible. I see that a lot of times in these first races. So,
and then who do you like?
All right, so let me get there to my sheet. And I like the number 2, Big City Lights. Finished in the money in 5 career races, winning 3 of those starts. I think this shorter distance is going to benefit him. And his best dirt speed is fastest among today's starters. Then number 4, The Chosen Vaughn. He won 3 races in a row and has a highest last speed rating than number 1, Phineas. Finished 4th, but he had an excuse as he was bumped at the start, checked at the 5/8, and now he's got a bullet workout on the 31st, so you want to keep an eye on that one. Number 6, Resilience. He finished in the money in 4 career races, and he won 3 of those starts. That's my long shot. And then I'm going to play a double. I'm going to take the 2 with the 4, 6, 8, and 11 for $1.
For $1, Terry is going to do the double to get started. All right. I like the 2 horses well. Big City Lights, lots of early speed. Raced twice at Santa Anita, won both of them. Both of them were triple-digit speed figures. As you mentioned, has that Christmas Eve bullet workout. The Chosen Vaughn beat the top pick both times, but those races were longer today. So I think the shorter distance could hurt the Chosen Vaughn. Number 3, I'll Stand Taller. Let's take a little bit of flyer here with that horse we said could get to the lead. And if it goes off at a big price, who knows? And then finally, number 6, Resilient. Proved in the first half mile of its last race and has 3 really good workouts between races. I should probably add that 3 to my pick here, but I only have a certain amount of budget, and I think I spent every dollar today, and I don't have any bets in the last 3 races. So I did a 50-cent pick 3. The 2 and the 4 here, I think those are your 2 logical winners. The 3, 4, 6, and 8, hope to catch a price in the back end, and then the 4, 5, and 6. So 50-cent pick 3 for me. Race number 2 at Santa Anita is 6 furlongs on the turf. Terry, you're echoing just a little bit. Is maiden $67,000 race, a purse of 67 grand. As you can see, none of the simulation stuff is filled in. None of the early pace is filled in. I did not do a way to the winner's circle because there's just way too many horses in here that have first-time starts or one start. It won't work with the data. So far, 6 furlongs in the turf. There's been 3 races. 2 of 3 were one off the pace, and it doesn't look like there's any particular edge to the post position in the early going at Santa Anita, Terry. So in this wide open maiden race, who do you like and why?
Unmute myself. Forgot to do that. Yeah, I agree with you. This is a really wide open race, but I like number 8, Moon Ice. She finished third versus similar in her last race and has a high percentage winning trainer and jockey. And then number 4, Mila's Papa. He is a first-time starter. His breeding suggests that he will like the grass and today's sprint distance. And he also has a bullet workout on December 22nd. Number 6, Regulation Dazed. He has had problems in the last couple of races, but if he settles down, he could have a good race this time, and he has the highest last speed rating. My long shot would be number 11, Chrome to Riches. He is a first-time starter. His breeding suggests he will like the grass, and the breeding suits today's sprint distance. And I'm going to play a pick 4, 50-cent pick 4. I'm going to use the 1, 4, 6, 8, 9, and 10. And then I'm going to single the 5 in the third race. I'm going to use the 3 in the 8, the fourth race, and the 3 and the 6 in the fifth race.
Indeed. Surprising considering all these first-time starters that our first 3 horses are the same in just slightly different order. I have Mila's Papa, consistently good workouts. One of my favorite angles for horses coming into their career debut, and that is the last workout was a bullet, and then the horse goes on to win. That's a bullet and go. A bullet and go hit that pick 4 for me on Thursday night at Turfway Park. So let's see if we can do it again. Number 6, Regulation Dazed. This horse is making the third start after a layoff. And you mentioned it did run the highest last race speed figure in the last race, but it also ran the highest last race speed figure in the race before that. So 2 straight highest last race speed figures, and that's even better than just one. And then finally, number 8, Moon Ice. Both starts was well bet. Did show some big improvement the first time the horse ran on grass last time out. So let's see if it can continue up that turf ladder. And then finally, number 3, Spiritual Advisor. I'm going to take a flyer here completely. The debut was kind of terrible. But if you look at that December 30th workout, it's pretty solid. So I'm going to consider that after that debut, really non-effort, to be a bullet and go on a price. And I'm going to do a 50-cent trifecta, 4-6 with the 4-5. I don't know what I'm doing. I got totally messed up numbers here. With the 4-6 with the 4-6-8. What, was I looking at the wrong race or something? 4-6, 8 with the 1-3-4-6-8. What was I doing? I don't know. Maybe Charles is in my computer messing up my picks, Terry. What do you think? Since he has access to the sheet.
Yeah, he certainly could be.
I could see him playing a joke like that. You know, the funny thing is if he did it, he'd put in all bombs for me, and that would come in right in order too, from the highest to the lowest. Race number 3 is 6 furlongs. It's another maiden race. Maiden $67,000. Again, too many first-time starters to go through the simulations or the way to the winner's circle worksheet at 6 furlongs. We talked about in the first race. Only 4 races so far. 3 or 4 of them were won from off the pace, and 3 of the 4 winners from post 4 and out. We have some of the same picks here, Terry. What do you like and why?
Okay. In this race here, I like number 5. She ran second versus similar in her only start, trained by Mark Glatt and ridden by jockey Flavien Pratt. And then I like number 2. She's a first-time starter whose dam has 4 winners from 5 starters, has a high percentage winning jockey in the irons. And then I like the number 6. She showed early speed and then was bumped at the 3/16, which affected her race. And they added Lasix this race. Number 7 is my long shot. She's not kidding. She is a first-time starter whose dam has 1 winner from 2 starters and has a trainer who wins 21% of the races when debuting maiden weight, special weight race. So, and I have no bet.
In race 3, I like number 5, Bashan Bashirt. The debut speed number was just so much better than anything else anybody put up there. So all the others are going to have to come up, or some of these others are going to have to, or it's going to have to regress. The number 6 horse, Sassy Nature, showed blazing speed in its debut and then faded. It's going to get some first-time Lasix today, which is going to cure the late fades. Number 4, a Timely Luck, consistent work pattern for trainer Sean McCarthy, who wins at 17% in maiden day and debuting at maiden special weight. And then Dan Hill's Song, he does get the top jockey in here right now, Juan Hernandez, but trainer Vladimir Sarin, when he puts a horse out on the track the first time for maiden special weight, so far on the year, 0 for 15. So until that barn warms up under this circumstance, I'm not going to put it at the top of my picks. I am going to do a double here, all with the 3-9 in the next leg, because you just don't know sometimes with these races what you're going to get. So maybe I get lucky, pop a bomb, and then on the back end, catch one of my 2 key horses for race number 4, which is 6.5 furlongs on that hillside turf. It's an interesting race when they come running down that turf and then they run across the dirt and they go back to the turf. And I always fear like, oh no, these horses are going to like stumble and fall when they hit that dirt, but they never do. And we can go back to, again, our way to the winner's circle worksheet. And looking at this, Terry, it looks like there's one horse that's going to get to the lead and could be very difficult to pass according to the simulation odds.
Yeah, that's right. That 3 horse has lots of speed, and nothing in there even comes close to the kind of speed that it's shown. And then, you could get an overlay there because those horses in the past have been really hard favorites. You can also get a pretty nice overlay on the one horse at 8-1. So there you go.
There we go. Let's take a look at the way to the winner's circle worksheet for race number 4. Interesting shape here. Most of the horses want to be forwardly placed, all but 2. Either going to go for the lead or pressure the lead. The 3 horse absolutely has the most early speed. That's why it's boxed off. Also has the second best late pace numbers in the group. But the one that really kind of interests me a little bit over here is his 9 horse. It is what I call a left arrow horse. It actually has a little bit of a plus advantage at the half-mile marker and also has the top late pace in the field. So you got a horse that has late pace, should sit right off the pace, and all of these guys running like crazy for the front. The 9 horse could get a really nice trip in here, Terry. I don't know if you have him in your picks, but you might wish you did when the race is over.
Yeah, you could be right, but I actually starting off with the 8 horse, Joe Donnie Looney. He won his last race, has a high percentage winning trainer, has the highest last speed rating, and his best start speed is fastest among today's starters. So those are lots of boxes marked off. Number 3, Thornhouse, has finished in the money in his 4 career races, all of them. He's won 2 of those starts, and he finished second on the turf in his last race, so he can handle the turf. Number 10, Moose Mitchell, has finished in the money in 7 races in 2022, winning 3 of those starts. And he finished third versus similar in the last race. By long shot is number 6, Press On. He won his last race at Delmar and appears to either lead or come from off the pace to win a race, which is an angle I really like. And I'm going to make a pick 3 bet here with 50 cents with the 3, 5, 6, 8, 9, 10. I'm going to use the 3, 6 in the 5th. And in the 6th race, I'm going to use the 1.
Going to solo up the 1. I'm going to do a pick 3 too, a little bit different though. Our tickets are almost upside down. I'm going to go with the 3-9 in the first leg. That 3 horse, if you look here, according to the simulation of 1,000 races, should be like 1-9. I don't know if it's actually going to work out that way, but with that early pace, could be very difficult to beat. And then I'm going to throw my left arrow horse in there just in case there is an upset of that 3 horse. Next race, the 6-7 with the 1, 2, 3, and 5 in race number 6. Sean puts out here a couple of interesting facts. Yesterday, Robertino Diodoro, friend of the show, became just the 37th trainer to win 3,000 races. And yesterday at Aqueduct, Manny Franco didn't leave very many for everybody else, winning 6 of the races. And today he already has 3. So Manny is, as they say on Sports Center, en fuego. Next race up for us is race number 5. Terry? Race number 5 at Santa Anita is back to 6 furlongs. Another maiden claiming race. This one for $50,000. The purse is $39,000. Again, too many different, not enough horses that have worked more than 1 or 2 races. Messes up the simulation odds and the simulation for horses coming out at the quarter mile marker, but enough data for us to go ahead and get a sense of how they might run, because we only have 2 first-time starters in here. No horse so far has really shown an interest to be the leader. So we don't really have a lot of front pace. We do have horses that want to pressure, but it looks to me like the 2 fastest horses could be on the back end here. Typically closers, the 1 and the 7. And the 7 with the down arrow is the only horse in here that's dropping in class. He actually has a plus advantage through the first half mile. So if that 7 horse can hang on, could be a price in here as well, Terry, in race number 5. What do you say?
Well, I like in this race the number 6 horse, King Zog. He ran second versus similar in that last race, has a highest last rate speed rating, and this trainer wins 25% of the time when he has used Lasix for the first time with the horse. Then I like number 3, Big Drinker. He finished third versus similar in his only start, well bet in that debut, and can improve with Lasix added. Number 4, Stay in the Game. He ran second versus similar in his last race, has a good 5 furlong workout on December 31st. My long shot is the 5, Uncle Walt. He is a first-time starter whose sire wins 21% with first-time starters, and I'm not going to bet on this race.
All right. So for me in race, are we in race number 5, Terry, right? Or 4?
No, we're in 5.
We're in race number 5. All right. So I'm going to go with, I don't think I gave my picks in the last race, did I? I don't think I did. I think I skipped right over them. But I like the 3, the 9, the 10, and the 6 in that next race. And then I have a pick 3 there too. I don't remember talking about my horses, so that's all right. We'll go on to race number 5. If you want to see my comments, they'll be over at horseracingtoday.net. I like King Zog in this race too, in race number 5. Been close a lot. 6 races out with 4 seconds. Fades at the end of all of these races. Again, a case where maybe first-time Lasix can cure the fades. Number 7, Charbonneau, has that early pace advantage through 4 furlongs. If it can run back to its second career start, it will win this. The Lasix, lone maiden special weight dropper, and a weight break, all 3 of those things should really help the 7 horse a lot, and maybe a nice price there. Number 3, Big Drinker, decently bet in its debut. Does have some really nice workouts since that race. And then finally, number 1, Doratus. This one should improve in its second career race and has 2 maintenance workouts since its debut. I'm going to do a 50-cent pick 3, 6, 7 with the 1, 2, 3, 5 with the 1 and the 4 in race number 7. I wonder how come I just forgot to completely talk about my horses there, Terry. It's pretty funny to me.
Not sure, but I'm glad we finished with the 5th race, because anybody who wants to play the pick 5, now they get to see our bets. And I think that's going to be a pretty big pick 5. If you can actually get a couple of races where you only have 1 or 2 entries, you can spread out the other 3 and maybe do really well.
Yeah. So just to recap, Terry's got his, well, you didn't do a pick 5 in the first race. So
no, I did one in the last 5 races.
All right. So race number 6 is next, and that one is 6.5 furlongs on the hillside turf again. It is the Sunshine Millions filly and mare turf sprint. Purse is $150,000. Again, on that downhill course with a run on grass, then across dirt, then back onto grass. And so far in the 5 races, 3 of those 5 races were won by early speed, 2 of which went wire to wire. Every single winner was from 4 and out. So, of course, we go ahead and put the 3 and the 1 in our first picks. We go against that bias. But if speed does hold up, Terry, it sure looks like that 1 horse, Big Summer, is going to be the one that everybody has to pass if they want to win.
Yeah, that's true. The 1 has lots of early speed. I like that it's on the rail. And so that's my, as you see in my pick 5, it's my single. But you can also see that there's maybe a good overlay for the number 5 horse, Eddie's New Dream. Could go off at 3.5 to 1.
Yeah, morning line at 3.5 to 1. And when we did our simulation, looks a little bit more like it could be down to 3 to 2. Would be fair value for that horse.
That's true.
Our way to the winner circle worksheet in race number 6. Again, a race where the shape could really benefit a couple horses, because in this case, everybody wants to be towards the back. When they've won, they've done so closing. We do get a left arrow horse again with this one horse. Does have enough early speed to go from a horse that's won closing to pushing up front. It's going to have to compete with that 2 horse for the lead, but based upon our simulation, that 1 horse should be forwardly placed. Does have some late legs, could be tough to beat, Terry. Maybe that's why you made it a single.
It is. It's actually my best bet of the day. So, as I said, I like the one Big Summer. She's finished in the money in all 10 of her career races, and she won 3 of those. And she's returning to the turf where she's never been out of the money, winning 2 of those races. Number 3, Alice Marble. She finished 3rd in her last race, has the highest speed figure at today's distance, and her best start speed is fastest among today's starters. And then number 5, Eddie's New Dream, drops in class today, can improve while returning to a sprint. My long shot is the 2. She has won 2 out of her last 4 races, winning the last one at Santa Anita at today's distance. And I'm going to play $20 to win on the number 1, a 50-cent pick 5. I'm going to use the 1 in the 6th race, the 247, with the 389, with the 178, with the 158.
All right. Terry's going big on that 1 horse. Going to be the linchpin of its day. It's either going to work out for him in a big way if that 1 wins, or blow up on him. So we're pulling for that 1. I like in this race, the 6th race, I'm going to start off with the 3 horse is my top pick. Alice Marble was the favorite last time out, got beaten, but trainer Philip D'Amato rebounds at 25%. This one's resume says expect a big jump in round 2 off the bench. And come on, man, everybody knows you bet D'Amato on the turf. Number 1, Big Summer, is that left arrow horse, as we saw in the pace worksheet. Doesn't look like it on paper, but could be the pace setter. And it's run this distance twice. And guess what? Won both of them. Number 5, Eddie's New Dream, is that lone P horse. So it's going to be behind that wall of speed, in front of the few closers. Does drop from a grade 1 and cuts back from a mile to a distance where Eddie's New Dream has won 2 times and a 3rd in 3 tries. And then number 2, I have no idea how to pronounce this one. Le Dume, Etoye, I guess. I don't know. Can't pronounce it, but I do know that jockey Lanfranco Diattore looks really good after coming over from Europe. And with Doug O'Neill so far, they've teamed up 3 times. They've won 2 of them, finished in the money 100% of the time with a crazy good ROI of $8.53. So we're going to ride the wave on Mr. Diattore. And I'm going to do a 50-cent try. I was thinking about a pick 5 in here too, Terry, but I don't know. There's just too many places to get upset along the way. So I'm going to do a 50-cent try with the 1-3, with the 1-3-5, with the 1, 2, 3, and 5. But I did decide to do a pick 4 in the next race. So I spent the rest of my money there. So I feel like these next few races are a little bit more predictable, perhaps, than the earlier part of the card. Race 7 is a mile and a 16th. It is the California Cup Derby. The purse is $200,000. And at the distance at a mile and a 16th, was one race, won by speed from post 4 through 7. And if speed is going to win, it sure looks like, Terry, once again, that rail horse, Thirsty John, will be the one they all have to pass if they want to get the win.
That's true. That's another one of those ones that's got a lot of speed. There's a couple others that are be close, the 2 and the 7. And you can see that if it stays at the morning line morning line odds, it's going to pay 4 to 1 versus even money. So you might get a really good payout there. So anyway,
on the 1 horse, the 1 horse looks like it could offer some value. And race shape for race number 7, you only have 1 horse that's shown a lot of early pace. That is the 3 horse. It's got a 13-point advantage through 2 furlongs, so should definitely be on the lead, especially since it's stretching out. Everybody else wants to be middle and back. And of those horses in the back, the 2 horse has the most late pace. It has a 5-point advantage over everybody else. So if this 1 horse can get out and run some good fractions, Terry, not too fast, it might be difficult on that stretch out for everybody to catch up and win.
That's right. But for me in this race, I'm going to go with the number 2 horse, Passerando. She has won 3 out of the last 4 races, has a high percentage winning jockey. Number 4, Give Not a Taker, has won her last race at Los Alamitas, and her best dirt speed is fastest among today's starters. Number 7, Geezer, which is me, old Geezer. She finished 3rd in her last race after having trouble and has a good 5 furlong workout on December 31st. Then I like number 6, Crypto Ride. She ran 2nd versus similar in her last race. And I'm not going to have a bet in this race.
So Janet says, La douzième à toi is how you pronounce La douzième à toi. Thank you, Janet. I had no idea. I took foreign languages in high school and college, and I just bombed in both of them. Put me in a math class, I figured out right away. Stick me in a language class, and I was like, what are you talking about? All sounds foreign to me. And the funny thing is my grandparents came over here from Germany, and they would speak German, and I understood what they were saying, no problem. And I could speak back to them, right, in English, but I could never speak to them in German. And then I took German class, and my last name is Biegelmeyer, which is about as German as you can get. And the German teacher, he had the German accent, and he would get so mad at me because I couldn't figure out how to speak the language. And then in college, I went to take Spanish. And the lady who was the teacher, she's like, okay, introduce yourself. And when everybody was done introducing themselves, she's like, this is the last thing you're going to say in English. And I was like, you know what? This is the last time I'm going to be in this class. It got up and out of there. But in anyway, in race number 7, Terry, I like the number 1 horse, Thirsty John. It's probably a crazy pick. I'm not the biggest fan of horses coming straight from the maiden right off to a non-graded stakes race, but does have that really big early pace edge. Going to go long for their first time. Been off since May, so there's a lot of questions to answer for this horse. But I feel like when the race is over, he will have answered the questions, and long-term is probably the best horse in this race, but we'll find out. If not, Give Her Not a Taker is the second choice. 1 at a mile last out. Has a bullet workout since, so I like the fact that the horse ran really well, puts a nice bullet in, and now has room to be even better in the second race off the sidelines. Number 2, Passerando, did win its only race at Santa Anita at this level with the best career number. Finally, number 7, Geezer, that's me, is up and down horse. If he's on his game, Geezer can win. If he's off his game, could be the last place horse. I'm going to do a 50-cent pick 4. I kind of wanted to leave that 7 off, but if it's a light switch and the light is on today, could beat me at a good price. So I'm going to go 1, 2, 4, 7 with the 8, 9 in race number 8. Race number 9, the 1, 6, 7, and 8. And then in race number 10, the 1, the 4, and the 8. Again, all of our picks along with our suggested wagers will be over at horseracingtoday.net a little bit after the show ends. I'll post it all over there. You can go and check that out, or you can just replay the tapes because we also, Terry's kind enough to put the times together, so we timestamp it in the description down in YouTube, and you can just go back and watch each race just by clicking on the timestamp. Race number 8 is 1 mile on the turf. It is the Leanne Howard California Cup Oaks. $200,000 at stake here in race number 8, Terry. At a mile on the turf, you're typically looking for horses, well, at least so far, 8 races, most of which were won by early speed. In fact, 3 of the 8 went wire to wire, so speed does seem to be a factor. So far, the rail has not won. Most of your winners have come from post 2 and 3 and 8. And it looks like we're going to have a drag race out of the gates between Charlie, Sell the Dream, and cast member, Terry.
That's right. There's 3 horses with plenty of speed there. So I think those 3 will go out, and might be a benefit for somebody that's close to the pace. Could be like maybe that 6 or the 1. Just never know. There's a nice overlay on the number. What is it I was looking at?
Overlay the 4 horse, maybe?
Yeah, I think
overlay,
that's
maybe the 1.
Yeah, that's it. the 4-horse. So,
Mhm.
and by the way, the Santa Anita race is going off right now. And the
Yeah, I
4,
think it's over, and it looks to me like maybe the 2-horse one in race
the
number
2
one.
passes that 4, huh?
It's tough to tell because I don't know what they're doing. Here they come.
Yeah.
And now because they were focusing on the
No, the 4 won that.
are you sure? Yeah, the
Was
4-1.
it?
So yeah, it was 4-2.
Yeah.
Because the cameraman was on the cameraman was on the 2 for some reason. I don't know why. That's why I was unsure because I wasn't watching. So the 4 looks like it did win. So pick 3 off at the 4, big deal. Starts at 2-5 would have been better for both of us. Had that 2-horse one, Terry, but those next 2 races, maybe we can catch a nice price in there. Back to race number 8, my friend. Did you run through your picks in race? Oh, we haven't done the way to the winner's circle in race number 8.
You have to do that first.
Again, we find a lopsided race pace here, but it's not as lopsided as it might look because all of these horses that are squared off have some very similar early speed. So I think this race, despite the fact that on paper it looks like you got only a couple of speed horses and then everybody else is a closer, they're going to giddy up and go in this race. So I wouldn't be surprised at all if the horses that have the L's next to them, the late pace horses, if the winner comes from one of those horses with the L on it. And that doesn't stand for loser. That stands for late pace, horses with late legs, Terry. I don't want to pick any losers, so tell me who are your winners.
Okay. Yeah, and this 8th race, I like number 9 cast member. She won 3 of her career races and has a trainer who in the last 14 days has won 3 out of 6 races. Number 8, Sell the Dream, finished 3rd in her last race. Her best earth speed is fastest among today's starters. And she has a good 4 furlong workout on December 30th. Number 3, Graze My Heart, has finished in the money in 4 of her 6 career races. She won one of those starts. My long shot would be the number 7, Quickly Park It. She won 2 races in a row and then finished 9th after breaking slow and steady in early and switches to a high percentage winning jockey. I'm going to play a pick 3 here. I'm going to use the 3-8-9 with in the 9th race, the 1-7-8, and in the 10th, the 1-5-8.
So that first race went 4-2, 6 and 5, 4-2, 6. So we both had the try, didn't have the 5 in the mix there. So the 5-horse going off, maybe a little bit of a price. Either way, the trifecta only paid $3.90, so you probably would have had to play that straight to come out of that ahead. And my selections for the 8th race, if I can find them here for a minute. Here we go. I like number 8, Sell the Dream, as my top choice. This one's dropping from an open company grade 3 race back to state breds. So that's a drop in class. Probably even more enhanced coming out of open company back to state breds, although California horses are pretty good. So far, the horse's best work in terms of its resume has been on the grass. Number 9, cast member, positionally probably going to get a super trip based upon how all these horses come out. Undefeated in 3, but here's the big problem for me. Trainer Tim Yakton, so far, he's put 32 horses on the grass for the first time, and he's only won 2 of them. So big concern for me. I guess maybe getting some experience and then see if maybe down the line they're going to run in a bigger grass race. Number 4, Choli, broke the maiden with the top last race speed figure. Big fan of that angle, but finished behind the 9 the 2 times they scored up. But that was on dirt, so now they're on turf. And again, Tim Yankton really struggles the first time he puts a horse on the grass. Finally, number 1, Carol Lombard. Tough call over to 3 for me in here. But when you just examine the turf numbers, Carol Lombard's turf numbers are a little bit better than Grazed My Heart. I do not have a bet because I don't have any money left. And if I made a bet with no money left, I would get reprimanded. Race number 9 at Santa Anita is 1 mile, optional claiming 20 grand. The purse is 72,000. So they're running for a decent chunk of change. 1 mile, profile of a winner at Santa Anita. So far in the 6 races, Tactical Speed has won. There's an absolute inside 3 or 8 and out bias, Terry. If Tactical Speed wins and outside wins, they may never catch that 8-horse.
Yeah, that's true. Although that one also has pretty good speed. So it depends. If the one breaks with that 8, they could go head and head for a while, and then some horse like that 2 or that 3 could come from off the pace to get them. And you got a pretty nice overlay on. I think it's a good overlay on that number 2 horse, uh, meaning that it was supposed to be 99-1. You might get 10-1.
Yeah, that's a big overprice there. Let's take a look at the weight of the weight of the winner's circle. Man, all the contenders have a lot of speed. So these 3 up front, man, they're going to duke it out. Could set the pace, be a little bit too hot. If that's the case, this 6 horse right back here is going to be smiling with the most late pace. Let all those guys up there burn off all their gas. I'll save my energy and give it a go at the end. But I do think that those front runners are probably the ones to beat, Terry. What do you say?
All right. Well, in this race here, I like the number 7 horse, Holiday Arousal. She's a closer, but she ran second versus similar last race and has the highest speed figure at today's distance. So I think if those 2 speedsters go out there and run themselves into the ground, this is a horse going to get them. Then I like the number 1, that 1 speed horse. I know Cash Flow has finished in the money in 3 out of 4 races at Santa Anita, so likes the track. Won 2 of those starts and is ridden by Flabry and Pratt. Then number 8 is my next horse. He has a high percentage winning trainer and jockey, and his best dirt speed is fastest bunk today's starters. And then the number 3 horse is my long shot, No Longer a Hobby. He finished 3rd in his last race, and he can improve while returning to a route. I have no bet in this race.
Yeah, I have no bets either. And I do have some picks, however. I like the 8 horse, Layas Candy, very consistent performer, always puts in a good effort. So you're going to have to beat this one, and has some decent workouts between races. Number 7, Holiday Arousal, much better late in its last race, and will look to build on that late race momentum in the 3rd race, the classic 3rd start after a layoff, Charles's favorite handicapping angle. Number 1, I Know Cash Flow, another one of those horses that's really consistent. I like the fact that in the last race, ran similar to a little bit faster fractions at 6 furlongs than in the previous start, 5.5 furlongs. And the rail's been hot so far in the limited races at the distance. Finally, number 6, Big Talker, is that lone PC horse, going to sit behind all of that speed and then run by them all when they go fast. And it did produce the top last race speed figure. Again, I'm all out of money. Can't make any bets. Hopefully, I'm still alive in my pick 4 at this point, because if so, then I'll actually have something, a rooting interest. Final race of the day at Santa Anita is the 10th race. It is the Unusual Heat Turf Classic Stakes. It is 1 mile and an 1/8. And so far, in 1 mile and an 1/8, they really haven't done much. Only 3 races. 2 of the 3 and 8 and out have won them all. A little bit of an off the pace to stalker type bias, Terry, but it does look like that 5 horse Kings River Knight could have a pretty good early race advantage, although I don't know at the distance if he'll be able to hang on at the end. What do you say about his early race chances?
Yeah, I think that 5 has a really good chance of taking this all the way. So, I think that's a good bet. Matter of fact, it's going to be my first pick. So, but you got a little bit of an overlay there on that 4. If you take a look at that one, because it can come from off the pace. In morning line, 5-1, and it's about double what it plays out on the simulated odds.
Indeed, yeah. So maybe some value in Coalinga Road. And look at this race here. Just really a lot of horses that want to be mid and back all day today. So the 2 horses that have the most early speed, it looks like, are the 2 and the 5. That's why they're boxed off. This 4 horse really, though, without putting in a lot of effort, should sit right behind those 2, and then has a +7 late pace advantage. So, Terry, I think you read that chart right. I think you can sit right off that early speed and then use those late legs to run on by and maybe score to win the final race at Santa Anita. If not, who do you think is going to – well, you already said you think the 5 is going to take them wire to wire.
I do. I think the 5 will do that. She's won 3 races. And she's had 2 seconds in her 6 race career, or 3 seconds. I'm sorry. She's won 2 races at Del Mar and has won all 3 turf races she's entered. Then I like the number 8, Calamarlis Man, however you pronounce that. She's a closer who has won 3 out of the last 4 races and has jockey Juan Hernandez. And if the 5 can't hold on. I think this 8 will get them. Number 1 is my next one. Likes the track, winning 2 out of 4 races. Has a high percentage winning trainer, and her best start speed is fastest among today's starters. My long shot is number 7, Royals and Rando. She won her last race and has a high percentage winning jockey. And because I'm out of money too in my budget, I have no bet here.
Yeah, I'm all budgeted out too. I like that 8 horse in here. Carmelita's Man. Trainer Dean Peterson doesn't enter very many at this level, but when he does, he's pretty wise because he's won 8 out of 18 of them. So he's good at picking his spots. Number 4, Coalinga Road has that early pace, 7-point late pace advantage. Is the lone P horse, so I mean, it should be able to get exactly the trip it wants. Should get an opportunity to use those late legs to take this race at the end. Allegato could be in peak form in the 3rd race after a layoff. 3 maintenance workouts between races. Good numbers there. Finally, number 2, Doc Adams, won 4 in a row, but is moving up considerably in class. Was a tough call for me over your top pick, Kings River Knight. But I felt to me like the 8, the 4, and the 1 were the ones that were really the ones to beat in this race. And that's why I went with the longer odds a little bit on my last pick there. Our full race picks for Santa Anita look like this. You can see them right there. So take a screenshot. If you like what you see or you like what happens if you play some of our bets today, please hit us up with a subscribe on YouTube. Hit that bell so that when we go live, you're notified. And we'll go live again on Monday, Terry and I, at 11:30 a.m. Eastern. We will cover Parks Racetrack on Monday. And Tuesday, Wednesday, Charles returns for Gulfstream Park. And on Thursday, Aqueduct. Sean and Julie return for Sports Center with Horse Center on Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday at 8 p.m. Eastern with a lineup of some young, fresh faces in the business that you're going to want to get to meet, know them before they're big. And if a little bit later on tomorrow morning, when you get up before the NFL playoffs get started, myself and Tom yesterday, we went to work in Dubai for the May Dane races. You could check out that show right here on Horse Racing Radar. If you're betting Laurel Park today, please head on over to Guaranteed Tip Sheet. You will see it is the free track of the day. There is a link in the description down below. Not quite sure why the computer did that on its own. Proof that Charles is in my computer. Click on that link, and you will see that you get the Laurel Park picks today for free in race number 1. 1A, Bossiness was a best bet of the day. With college football's big game on Monday, college basketball in full swing. Picks with the professor. Again, another link down there, Professor Sides. A statistics professor, wonderful models for sports betting. Make sure you check him out. Sean, myself, and, Jared's picks in spirit, but not in person. You'll find those NFL picks over, and Sean's just been smoking hot. So you want to check that out. And then if you really like to support the show, there's a link in the description down below so you can get yourself some Horse Racing Today gear. Look as spiffy as Terry and I don't know if that's a good thing to motivate people, Terry, to go or motivate them not to go. But nonetheless, you can help support the show. Hit that link down there. And right now, you get 2 days left. In spirit of 2023, 23% off everything. So don't miss out on your opportunity to support the show and then fight inflation simultaneously. All right, Terry. That wraps it up for this Saturday. We'll be back, like I said, on Monday again. Any final thoughts before we get out of here and watch the fruits of our labor at Santa Anita this afternoon?
Yeah, I just hope that politicians quit screwing around on everything and get to business and earn their money.
Is that really what you want? I think I would rather they screw around on everything and don't do any business.
Yeah,
that's the old Hippocratic oath, don't do any harm. And when they're not working, they can't do any harm.
That's probably true. That's probably true. But you just never know what's going to happen nowadays. Anyway, I hope the weather doesn't affect you much. If you're betting on today's race, there's actually a big holdover. What do you call that? Carryover for the pick 6. I think at Santa Anita today, is there not? And it's a mandatory payoff. So if you're going to do it, go ahead. Oh, there's Jay Marco. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Anyway, and just give your loved ones a hug and a kiss and tell them how much you love them. So
we absolutely appreciate Jay Marco and Jack Forte for giving us the thumbs up on Facebook. If you like it too, please, Facebook, thumbs up, subscribe, tell your friends about us. It's another way you can help support the show by getting the word out. As Terry said, no matter what you're doing today, in J. Marco's honor. Whether you're going to watch football, you're going to clean up the house, get all those things done that you can't get done during the work week. You're going to sit back and bet races, whatever it is you're going to do. In J. Marco's honor, we hope it ends up in one place, and that can only be
the winner's circle.
Yes, indeed. Thank you for joining us. Look forward to being back with you and Terry on Monday.